Hey everyone. Hello, 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 hello. All right, all right. We are live. We are live on YouTube. Yay! And not on Facebook. So if anybody's on Facebook, you need to jump on over to YouTube. So excited you guys are here. We want you to be this is what's the word? Very participatory. Is that how we say it?
Participatory, yes.
Participatory. And so we want you guys to feel comfortable to talk to us, communicate with us, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to check my phone on YouTube, y'all. So, just as you're looking, just say okay, she's looking down, because I want to make sure that you guys are on. Yep, I see you, Alycia. Everyone, can y'all say
Yay!
hi to Alycia Houston, my
Hello.
guest today? I'm so super excited that she is here. Our subject today, hey John, our subject today is you are your own rescue.
He's
Yes,
talking about how
yes.
do you spell that?
Huh?
Being funny. He's asking how do you spell participatory?
Participatory. That's a good. How do you spell participatory?
Put
I
that in
was
the chat.
never in the spelling bee. Hey Ashley. Hey Terry.
Hey Terry,
Let's. Hey
hey Ashley.
David. So glad that you guys are here. I want y'all to go
David.
on and share it with other people, because today is just really going to be. I like to say it's a juicy conversation
Mm,
with Alycia and I. And really, y'all, we're just going to just talk, just have a
yeah.
conversation. We're going to quote unquote interview each other. And so,
Yes.
Ashley spelled participatory for
Come through, Ashley. Come through.
well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you for calling him out on that. How do you spell that? I said it. I didn't spell it, though. I said it.
Right, right. I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
too funny, too funny. But yeah, guys, go ahead and share this, because anything that's good, you never want to keep to yourself. You
Yeah.
want as much people to come in. Oh, Terry spelled it as well, participatory.
Yes,
Yes,
she
right,
did.
y'all. Listen, they have our backs, right? They have our backs. Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Come on.
But,
Come on.
Elise and I are going to have just a really juicy conversation for the
Yeah.
next few minutes that you guys are here with us. We're going to honor your time as well. We know it's the evening, and but we thought this would be a great time. As we discuss, you are your own rescue. That's
Ooh.
the topic. You are your own rescue. As many times as we have been doing different things uh in life,
Yeah.
we or as they say, there's this journey called life. Am I
Mm,
right? There's
mm,
this journey called
mm,
life. And in
mm.
this journey called life, there's
Yeah.
so many twists and turns and ups and downs and bumpy roads and mountains to climb and valleys that
Mm,
you're in, and you're making one turn. And sometimes
mm.
when you think it's all together and you think you're on that straight, you're on that straight, and you're like, oh yeah, I got it, it's all together. Then next thing you know, it's like boom.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone like on a road trip and
Huh.
everything's going, all of a sudden it's boom boom, you
Yep.
know? Or you're driving. I remember one time, Annika and Jaleesa, they were driving through the mountains of Philadelphia, and so the mountains have lots of curves and turns. They were very high, and it just
Mm,
started pouring rain. And I remember them saying, oh my gosh, it was just so scary, so
mm.
scary. And so that's life.
It is.
Many times, everything is a beautiful sunny day, everything is going great, and all of a sudden,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like the heavens open up, or the clouds open up,
Or the clouds, right.
right? And there's just a whole storm
Yeah.
that hits you, and
Yeah.
it blindsides you. You didn't even hear the announcement for it because it wasn't announced. You know how sometimes you could look at the weather and you could say, oh, you're projected out. We do that. We project out for the whole week. We project out. But sometimes there's no warning. It
Yeah.
just comes. And so I would never, for them, it just came, boom, no warning. And it
Yeah.
just hit. And there they are in the mountains, and it's already dark. And
Oof.
you know that when it starts to pour and thunder and storm where you can't see, it even gets darker.
Yes.
It gets darker.
Yes.
Sometimes that's exactly what life brings us.
Mm, mm.
And we have to figure out,
Yeah, we
how do
do.
we get through this? What is it that we do? or
Yeah.
don't do?
Wow.
How do we react? How do we feel? And so our conversation today is just really to talk about that. When I called Alycia earlier this week, I said, I just really feel in my heart, I feel like if God is telling me, let's just have a very transparent, authentic conversation
Yeah.
about what we have done, um, ha- to have worked through the so many things in our lives.
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
had people asking me, how did Festa della Donna begin? How did you come up with Festa della Donna? And some know the story, some don't. But, I came up with that because I needed to be my own rescue for some.
Mm.
You know, I came up with it because when I lived in Italy for years ago, we lived in Italy for a few years. Our children went to the Italian school, and so we totally enjoyed it. And so every March 8th, Alycia, every March 8th, everyone knows it's International Women's Day. But,
Correct.
really in the US, now they do it. But back then, when I lived in Italy, they really did not celebrate International Women's Day as
Wow.
they do now in the United States. You hear about it a little bit more. If you did hear about it in the States, it was primarily, at the White House where they're given, awards
Yes.
to, the people who've accomplished in what they consider great things and the world knows about it. They solved peace. They're a country of a president of a country, or they're the first woman to do, those
Yeah.
type of things. And I realized when I lived there is that in Italy, everyone celebrated. Right.
Mm.
It was a day that was set aside to celebrate women, young, old, large, small, black, blue, tall, short, all women, grandmas, mothers, sisters, all women.
Mm.
And it
Mhm.
did not matter. What I loved about it is that it didn't matter their journey. What
Mhm.
mattered was that they were being celebrated.
Yeah.
And so I just had the vision that whenever I returned back to the United States, I would do this. I would start a company that was focused on celebrating women because
Wow.
one of the things that I saw was that women were many times under celebrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the United States, even in our homes, in our communities, on our jobs, in our businesses, we are under celebrated, right?
Yeah.
And we don't take the time to say, "Woohoo, good for you," right? Because you know, because
I love
we've been
that.
we've been taught. My mom used to tell me, Esther, in her accent, Esther, self praise is no praise.
Mm.
In
That's
other words,
real.
she used to say, it's like,
Yeah.
but I can't celebrate me.
Mhm.
But that's how we were,
Brought up.
that's what she was taught. In
Yeah.
other words, you had to wait for someone to celebrate you. And there's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yes, you want others to celebrate you, but it's so necessary for us to celebrate ourselves.
Yes,
And
it is.
research shows that once we begin to do that,
Yeah.
it becomes in our DNA. And once we can learn to celebrate ourselves, who we are, despite whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then we are that much more successful. But it
Yes.
takes a little while for us to get there. Does
Yes.
that make
Yes.
sense? We just don't get there overnight and
No.
say, boom, we're going to celebrate ourselves. And so when I returned to the United States, I waited a little while. And then a few years later, maybe about 3, 4 years later, it was time for me to do it. And so I
Mm.
started the first Festa della Donna live event. And I remember I had planned, I said, I'm just going to have 50 people, Alycia. I said, that's all I want because it's really going to be different. My husband and I were pastoring, and I said to him, I said, can we turn the sanctuary into an event and place and
Ooh.
event place? And that's what we did. We moved everything. He said, sure. And I had all of these different things, and the women got flowers and roses, and there was great food, and it was just celebratory. And it was inspirational and motivational and transformational. It was
Right.
all of those things in
Right.
one night because my vision was I wanted the women to laugh, cry, connect, network, hugging each other and say, girl, I got your back.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
wanted that, and it happened, but I only did it for one night, Alycia, just one night. And then
Okay.
after that night was done, it was always on March 8th, and it was on that weekend, right?
Okay.
It was March 8th was on a Friday, I'd do it Friday night. It was on a Saturday, I'd do Saturday night. If it was on a Sunday, I'd have it on a Friday. In other words, but I did it for one night. Terry said they were amazing. They were amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. And because Terry has been there from the very first one, which was 2012, by the way.
Wow.
2012. And so
Wow.
from that point it just began to grow, but I did it for one night. And then people kept asking me for more. And so finally, a few years later, I said, okay, I'm going to go to two nights.
Yep.
Right. And so I'll do the first night, which is the celebratory night, and then the next day, the Saturday, that's what I would call it. Now, guys, we did the celebratory, and I switched a little. We're going to do some motivational stuff on the Friday night, but lots of celebratory, make you feel like the queen that you are,
That's right.
the queen that you are, the princesses that you are, the beauties that you are, the
Yeah.
powerful women that you are.
Yes.
It's not where you came from that really matters, and what you've gone through. It's where you're going and
Yeah.
what you're doing right now to get there. Right.
Yeah.
And so we celebrated being very present. And so
Mm.
then the next day I said, okay, but the next day, since y'all wanted 2 days, we're going to deep dive. And so, Alycia, we deep dive and we really began to do some transformational things.
Mm.
We did business. We talked about your money. We talked about
Yeah.
your emotional, mental well-being. We talked about physical. And then what was beautiful about that, Jaleesa, who was very much into sewing into the community, was very much for looking at sex trafficking. And so we
Oh.
would support sex trafficking organizations, because she used to have yard sales, right, when she was younger, to sell her clothes, to give the money to donate to sex trafficking organizations, nonprofit, to
Wow.
stop sex trafficking. Yeah.
Wow.
So we did things like that. We talked about women's health and cancer and heart and all of those things, because we believed, or I believe, in the design of the whole woman. That
Yes.
for us to be whole all the way around, because
Yes.
it didn't really matter what we were experiencing, but where are we right now, and how can we be better, and how can we serve ourselves better? Back
Mm.
then, y'all, I didn't even know as much as I know now. You know how what was that called? It blind. What is it, Alycia?
Eh,
Where you just
Ignorance
unconscious.
on fire.
What?
Ignorance
Ignorance
on
on
fire.
fire. And I was just, listen, this is what I knew. I knew I was called to do this. This wasn't
Mm-mm-mm.
something that was just, I was called. I realized, before it was like, oh, I'm just going to do this. And then I realized, no, Esther, you are called. See, when
Yeah.
you know that you're called to do
Yeah.
something, no
Yeah.
matter what that is, then you can really go forth with it in a passion. You're scared and you're all these different things, but you can do it. Yeah, Jonathan said it's Amnesty International.
Amnesty International.
Yeah. And so it was great. And so
Yeah.
then they asked for more, and so then we went to 3 days. Yes, can you believe it? We went to 3 days right before the pandemic. I didn't do it, but right before the pandemic, right?
Okay.
We've had powerful speakers. We've had all of these different things. She was on fire and we came to watch her burn, Terry said. Yeah, it was great. It was great. And I got to tell y'all, but when I was done with that weekend, I was done. But people were always asking for more, which is why this has evolved to much more than, to much bigger now. You see,
Yeah.
if you can afford your vision, then your vision isn't big enough.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
your vision is easy to get like that, then your
Yeah.
vision isn't big enough.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons that I started Festa della Donna, in realizing in this journey of doing all of this, is that while I wanted to serve the women, to empower them, to help them be healthy, happy, and whole, there was also things that I needed for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I needed
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Esther, okay. I'm glad you took a breath, because I have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just talk. I want to bring some things to the forefront, because all of that was extremely powerful, because what I heard was that there was a vision that was instilled in you,
Yeah.
and there was an experience that you had personally, that you knew this experience, you wanted it to be magnified in the
Yeah.
States, in the US, from
Yes.
what you saw and felt, the level of gratitude, appreciation, acknowledgement
Yeah.
while you lived in Italy.
Yeah.
And so you stepped into the US, right? Back into the US, and you brought this vision into fruition in, like you said, 2 to 3 years. So one thing I want to acknowledge is sometimes we have a vision and we think it's for now. And it
Yes.
does not mean it's for now. So it's
Yes.
you being around the right individuals, having the right uplift to bring it into fruition and bring it full circle in its appointed time.
Yes.
So that was number one I heard. Number two,
Yes.
I heard something. There's an underpinning of identity in there, being clear on
Mhm.
who you are and what you are here to birth, not being
Mm.
in a comparator mode that, oh, Susie's doing this and Lisa's doing that. And so I want to do that. It
Yeah.
was no, understanding who you are and how you are to bring something to fruition.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I heard is there's levels to this thing, right? You said one night, then it
Mhm.
went to 2 days, and then it went to 3 days.
Yeah.
So understanding there is a journey to a level of realization and manifestation of
Yes.
what has been placed within you. But
Yes.
always realizing, like what I'm really, really hearing from you, Dr. Esther, is there was a level of support because I heard you talk about your husband, right?
Yes. Oh,
I
yeah.
heard that level of support is
Always dragging them in.
always dragging him in. And he, whether it's kicking or screaming, he shows up.
He shows
So
up.
yes, there is a level of understanding you cannot do it alone. We are not here to build anything in a silo. Matter of fact, we require a level of support from the right people. And then being okay as it develops. That's
Yeah.
what I heard from you. Okay,
Yeah,
I just had to
yeah,
put some.
powerful. No,
Yes.
that's exactly it. And so, in this journey, as even as while you're talking and rewording or clarifying everything I've said, which is absolutely true, the levels in this journey, I began to think about, look at the people we've had to come in as speakers, as entertainers. Leisha, we've had Kimberly Jones Partier a few times. Do you know Corinne Hawthorne?
I do not. I do not.
She acts in one of the movies. She was on The Voice. She was the first runner up in The Voice.
Oh,
Yes. And do you know Won't He Do It? He said he
yeah.
would. And what's that
Yes.
song? Y'all know what's that song that's really popular now? And they play it on the radio and everywhere. She
Don't make
sings.
me start singing.
Don't get.
Everybody will hang up.
Yes, and me too. I make a joyful noise. But what's that song? But she was there. She was there. I used to look at The Voice, and so when I looked at The Voice, I saw her, and from the beginning, I was like, oh, I love this girl, and I said, I'm gonna get her to Festa Della Donna once she's finished and she's won The Voice, and she only one guy, and they were together, and he
Oh,
barely beat her, but it was best for her because then she was able to go. She's powerful. She's been in a couple movies, and so
wow.
I said, I want her. In other words, so once that vision came, I waited for the vision. I knew when it was time because I heard God tell me, now it's time.
Yes.
He never told me that it was going to be easy and it was going to be all this.
There you
That's
go.
because what's happening many times, we think, oh, it's going to be easy. No, it took time. It took an investment,
Yeah.
my own personal money.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I decided that I was going to launch out into the deep. And so I launched out, and
Mm.
I got Corinne Hawthorne, Kimberly Jones Partier. I got Jonathan said she was also in the movie Praise This, and then some other movie as well. And then the song will come to me. Um,
Yes.
but then we've had a few other people that are quite known. I don't want to, because I don't want to name drop,
Right.
because it's not about that. It's not about.
Right.
And so, but the point is that I made a decision that what I'm doing is so important, right?
Mm.
That I had to invest in it. But
Mm.
then, Alycia, in working on that vision, and there's levels to the vision, levels to what you're
Yes.
doing,
Yes.
levels to it. Of
Yes.
course, then I began, because from my experience and what I've gone through, I began to develop programs and write modules. Why?
Right.
And just for the sole purpose of helping some woman and a man, if they choose to say, I've done all this. Let me help you get to where you want to get just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me help you find peace, joy, and happiness in the middle of that storm we talked about, that as they were
Mm.
driving in the mountains, that you could
Mm.
still get peace and joy,
Yes.
or be insulated. And my
Yes.
husband spoke today about just being insulated. And I
Mm.
thought, oh, yeah, that's it. That in the middle, you're insulated. And so I realized too, Alycia, on my own rescue, because I had to find something.
Yes.
I needed
Ooh.
something.
Wow.
I needed to have peace and joy.
Wow.
There were things that I was hurting about.
Yeah.
I was in pain about.
Right.
And no
Right.
matter how much I prayed, which you must do,
Absolutely.
praying is the foundation. That's a given. I
Yes.
have my conversations with God.
Yeah.
But I realized that there were some things I was just in pain about. And in
Mm,
one point, in doing all of these things, I want y'all to hear me. I was in a dark place
mm, mm,
and I had to make a decision that before that I can do anything else, help anybody else, go anywhere, I needed to get help myself. I realized that I can pray and I can do all of these different things. However,
mm.
I had to now become my own rescue. See,
Yes.
many times we wait for God to rescue us,
Yes.
but He can't do nothing because He leaves us all in choice. I
Yeah.
don't want to say He can't because He could do everything, but you know what I mean.
I
Like,
do. I'm tracking. I'm
yeah,
tracking.
we're in
Hmm.
choice, are we not?
Yeah.
We're in
Yeah.
choice.
We are. We are, Esther. And and it's this is really a powerful dialogue because some people will, and let's just speak truth to power
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
people will hide behind prayer.
Oh, yeah.
They will hide behind the words, I'm waiting on God.
Yeah.
I'm but yet and still, doesn't God answer prayer through people?
Mhm.
Doesn't he move people into position to be able to move you into your next level?
Yeah, yeah,
Does he not equip his children with the gifts
yeah,
that will then, as you link up with one another,
yeah,
continue to move you along the path and grow you and cultivate you in the manner in which you have petitioned?
yeah.
And so
Mhm.
we have to be very careful. We have to tread lightly and we have to tread in honesty with ourselves.
Yes,
That when
yes,
are we really operating in fear or are we operating in faith?
yeah. That's good, that's
Is
good.
it fear or faith?
Somebody type that in chat. Are we operating in fear or in faith? That's so good. Yeah.
And we ask for things. We ask for the provision for our business. We ask for expanded territory. We ask for new places and new spaces to be opened up for us. We ask for abundance in our bodies, our minds, and our families. All of these things we ask for. But then when the prayer is answered, and it's answered in a manner that you were expecting something different, are
Mhm.
you being obedient?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you being obedient and walking into that space that he said, yes, my child, I
yeah,
got you?
yeah,
Because we know he cannot lie.
yeah.
So he does open doors for you, but are you obedient in understanding and taking ownership of the doors that are open to you? Or do you sit back because it's not what you want in your flesh, what you expected, or how you wanted it to be delivered to you?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, it's not in my hometown.
yeah,
I
yeah,
That's not from God.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to drive. I have to get on a plane. Oh, I have to spend a little money. Oh, that wouldn't be from God because He would just make everything convenient. Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
brother or
yeah,
sister,
yeah.
I'm
And
here
you're
to call you out.
call them out.
You
Yeah,
think this has been convenient for Dr. Esther? She told, like, we're hearing like true testimony of being in a place of darkness of it, and really what that darkness was, you having to cut off the
yeah,
distractions. It
yeah,
was a place of pruning. It
yeah.
was
It
a place
was.
of separation for elevation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you had to prune and you have to surround yourselves with the people, as I call them, high minded, that have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, and the voice to be real with you and
yeah,
to help support you as you're moving
yeah,
into all that you've asked God for.
yeah. I love what you said, separation for elevation. Is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
separate? And that is exactly what I had to do because first of all, going back to when I started Festa della Donna, it was an out of the box event. And so I
Yes.
was already nervous. I was scared. We were not so many people knew us in the state of Delaware. And this was so different. And I wasn't going to compromise how I wanted it to be. And
Hmm.
so, and I thought nobody's going to come. And so, I'm just going to just go out there and do it. And at
Mm.
least God, I would have I've done it. And then, and I remember I said just 50 people and 200 showed up. We had to turn people away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We had to turn people. What I realized then was that people were in need.
Yes.
The
Yes.
ladies were in need. They
Yes.
wanted to be seen. They wanted something different. They
Yes.
wanted to experience something different that was still God focused and spiritual, but
Yeah. Worldly.
not or churchy.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Got it. Got
you
it.
understand? They didn't want that, and that wasn't the purpose of it. And so we had
Mm,
everybody there. When I tell you
mm.
everybody, we had everyone. We had I remember one time a Muslim woman, this one. It didn't matter
Yes.
what your belief system was. It didn't matter, and it still doesn't what your belief
No.
system is, where you are, who you believe in, what you don't believe. We don't even focus on that.
No,
We
ma'am.
are focused on that woman,
Mm,
developing her from the inside out so she can be
mm.
a better leader in her home, in her business, her entrepreneurship, in her career, in her
Wow.
marriage, with her
Wow.
friend, in every area, be that leader.
All
And
parts.
I remember even when I was in a dark place and I had to seek help,
Mm,
I listen, y'all, again, I began to say, God, this is how I'm feeling about this. I'm not experiencing the joy and the peace that I want to,
mm.
and I had to begin to prune and cut people off, separate to elevate. And I will never forget, Alycia, as I sat in my office and I broke down in tears crying
I'm sure.
because that day I just had it and I just stopped and I just started crying. And something my daughter Ani sent me a video of Lisa Nichols.
Mm.
And she said, "Oh," and she did, and she sent it to me. She said, "Oh, she would really be good for Festa della Donna." Because the one thing Ani knows, when I begin to talk about Festa della Donna, I get just, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." Blah. And so I said, and at that moment she sent, and I looked at that video, and I said, "Ooh, she's good. Let me see who she is. I would love to get her to Festa della Donna." Listen to what I'm saying. I went straight into work mode. Let me get this for Festa della Donna. Then when I connected to her and listened to one of her events or power jams, I realized, whoa, I would love to get her for Festa della Donna. But the truth is, as she was speaking, I needed, and come on, I needed
Come
to have,
on.
and so it hit me. And
Mm.
so I ended up going to her event. And that's when life and things just began to so change. And that's
Yes.
why we are where we are right now with
Yes.
Festa della Donna. That's where I
Yes.
am right now. Alycia, I believe that's where you are right now. We
Yes.
are about bringing change to women. Well, I've
Yes.
invested thousands and thousands and thousands and
Yes.
thousands of dollars in
Yes.
my personal development, my spiritual development
Yes.
to get to where, and I'm saying, listen, ladies, calling women, let's not live our lives to where we just settle and accept anything like this is
Woo.
right and this is how it's supposed to be. No, no, no. There is more for us. We were created for more. We are more valuable than we even realize it. And what
Yes.
we want to do is add more value because you're
Yes.
already valuable. Add more
Yes.
value. And so
Yes.
when I connected to her, that's where I met Alycia.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's when, here it is. You come in. If sometimes I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, Alycia, I'll say, God, I spent all this money on blah, 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 blah. And I've told you, I spent all, and I remember one time when I was saying that, and I remember God said to me, and if you didn't, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
You better say it. You wouldn't know the people you know. You would not have connected with the people, the
Exactly.
opportunities. Let's come on, speak it, speak the truth. There you
Exactly.
go.
And so when I make my mind, I set my mind to do something, I trust the process and I trust God. And I jump
Mm.
out and I say, let's go, let's do it. Terry said, I used to sit back and just observe. Each year, I watched Dr. Esther elevate and show her godly power. I followed her and began to open up too. Yes, she has.
Woo!
Yes, she has, doing great and phenomenal things. So
Wow.
it takes that time. And by the way, and Terry has invested in herself and in
Yes.
what she does. It takes you investing in yourself. It takes you saying no matter what. Because can I tell y'all, sometimes this is what we do. We're going to go get our nails done,
Mm-hmm.
pedicure, manicure. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
No, no,
wrong
no,
with
no,
that.
nothing
I
wrong.
like you. No, but we'll do all of these other things. My daddy always said people pay for what they really want.
They do. That's very real.
Yeah.
Listen, so I just got to jump on that
Oh,
because
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
was just having a conversation about people will stand in line for these iPhone new
Mm,
releases, for these
yeah.
Jordans, $200 and $300 pair of shoes, bags, all of those things. But we invest in what we want. We make a way to
Yeah.
create the opportunity and access for what
Yes.
we want. And
Yes.
so we have to be very careful about where we're choosing to place our energy and receiving what we really need
Come
as
on.
well. And
Yeah.
I got to bring it back because this just sticking in me. I keep hearing you say this. You said it, and it was so quick it might have gone over someone's head. You said you were not willing to compromise
Yeah.
what you knew you were here to create. So you chose no compromise over comfort. Because you could
Mhm.
have gone comfortable. You could
Yeah.
have done a little something. Let me have three people over,
Yeah. Yeah.
here, and we're gonna have a little conversation. You said, I will not compromise the
Yeah.
vision that I know God has instilled within
Yeah.
me. I
Yeah.
will not compromise the calling
Yeah.
that is for me because it was for you to create. Festa della Donna was for you to
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
here. That's
Yeah.
why I know about it. I wouldn't have known anything about
Yeah. Yeah.
Italy, all that. That's so beautiful. I love that. And I love the level of just ownership,
Yeah.
right? That you've taken of that. And it
Yeah.
hasn't been easy for you. I've been there for a few years now,
Oh, yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to quell any thought that, oh, it's easy for Dr. F. No, it hasn't been easy. There has been conversations with God,
Lots of it to where I'm done. I'm just
right?
done.
Right? Conversations with yourself. So I don't want someone to be out there feeling that just because there are times you do feel flustered, frustrated, fatigued, all of those things, and just plain dog tired, right? Just
Yeah.
dog tired. And
Tired.
so take that to just as fuel and feedback that you are in it. You are in the ring. You are in the ring. You are doing the work, right? And in that space, something beautiful becomes manifest,
Yeah.
right? As you are sharing with us. But the biggest thing that I continue everything you're saying. I mean, everything, Dr. Esther, I'm hearing there was a level of knowing what you were here to do, what you needed to invest, whether time, energy, or dollars.
Yeah.
Yes, just had to jump in with that.
And knowing that the call on your life, because everybody has a calling on their life,
Yes.
right? Everyone does. It could be in your business, it could be, in your home, wherever it is. As an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, you are influencing people. You're
Yeah.
called. And so the call on your life is way bigger. I knew that it was way bigger than me.
Mm, mm,
It was
mm.
bigger than me.
Yeah.
One year, Alycia, on the second day of Festa della Donna, which phenomenal. At the end, I was so worn out. It was so many things going on that at
Oof.
the end I got up and I said, "Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. It was great." And the women were crying. I said, "And this will be my last one. I am tired." I actually said that.
Wow.
Yes, I actually said that in a room full. When I tell you full of people, I think at
Wow.
this particular one, there was like 300 women there.
Oh my goodness.
And I said,
And you said, "Phew."
"Psh, I am done." I said, "This is the last one."
Wow.
And after that, and when I was finished, one of the ladies who was a speaker came up and they said, "Let's pray for her." And so they prayed for
Mm,
me. And I will never forget what made me kept going. What made me kept going is number one, I sat down and I said, this is a call on my life. I'm
mm,
called to help women, not just spiritually, but in their business, emotionally, financially, help them figure out their business, start their business, help
wow.
them to figure out their finances. What are you going to
Mm,
do with your life? Help them to live every day with intention. Help them to live a purposeful life, a life
wow.
by design. Help them to do this all in peace and joy. Help them with relationships, to help them to see who they are and to remove toxic relationships or
Mm,
know how to deal with those. So I knew the call was bigger, but I said I was finished.
Wow.
After that, someone that
I
was
did not know that.
oh yeah, I've not told. Only if you were there, you would know this. But no, this is
Wow.
my first time telling this story. I stood up.
Wow.
Terry said, yes, she
Yes,
did.
she did.
Yes, I did. And I said, this is it. And that when I tell you that one was powerful, it was so powerful. We have, oh my gosh, it was so powerful.
Mm.
And I said that I'm finished. And
Wow.
one of the young ladies, now what's wonderful about Festa della Donna is that we attract young women and even older women. I've had
Yes.
older women in their 80s come up and thank me
Come
and
on
say,
now.
this has really helped me. But I had a young lady, she was in her early 20s. This was her first one. And she came up to me just out of the blue and she said, please don't quit.
Mm.
She said, I need this.
Whew.
Need you. Please don't quit. See,
Mm.
sometimes it just takes one person.
Yeah.
And when she said that to me, I said, "Oh."
Mm.
And part of me was like, God, now
Mm.
come on. It's like,
Yes.
can you find somebody
Find
else?
someone else, Lord. Mm-hmm. Mm.
But I realized that I couldn't quit, but I also realized that I needed to serve myself and get some healing done for me.
There you go.
I needed to put myself in the right environment with the right people in the right place.
Yes. Environment matters. And and let's just take it to nature, okay? If environment didn't matter, it
Yeah,
wouldn't matter if the soil was rich because that means the plants would just grow.
yeah,
Crops would just grow.
yeah, yeah,
Why do we think farmers fertilize the soil? So, what are you fertilizing your soil with? What
yes,
environment are you
yeah,
growing with, right? Corn grows with corn.
yeah,
Carrots grow with carrots. They sometimes they intertwine and they grow together, and you have this big, major, massive super carrot,
yeah,
right? And so environment matters. The soil matters. Are you tilling your soil? Are
mhm,
you tilling the people that you allow in your environment? Are you separating the soil?
yeah,
Are you fertilizing with good fertilizer? What are you putting What are you putting yourself in? What
yeah,
environment are you saying yes to?
yeah, yeah,
It
exactly.
matters.
It matters, it matters, it matters, and I refuse to allow toxic people to remain in my life and
Come
give
on.
them, how is it, the position. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sometimes we give people positions that they don't need to have.
Yes.
Right? They don't need to have. Who is it? David said the ecosystem
It
matters.
matters.
It
He's
matters.
right.
It definitely matters. And so I just, sometimes people have access to you that shouldn't have access to you.
Come on. Come
You know,
on. Speak
but
that
what
truth.
happens is we many times don't know how to stop the access those people have. I always talk about you train people how to treat you. And
Yes.
even not just in within the past few weeks, I realized some things is wait a minute, I've trained this person how to treat me. Now
Yes.
I need to go and retrain.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You know,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so here it is. What we're doing in Festa della Donna is really helping women,
Yes.
powerful women. And you can say, well, I'm not a powerful woman. I beg to differ.
Right.
I beg to differ. If
Right.
you're saying that you're not a powerful woman, I am sure then that you haven't tapped in to the power and the gifts and the calling that's already in you from the day you were created.
That's right.
You just
That's
have to
right.
be in an environment to access it, to know what it is, and to say, and to know, oh, this is my purpose. See, all of us need to know we have a purpose here on earth.
Come
There's,
on.
there's something for all of us to do. We're all called to do something. And
Mm.
so that's what's important. But yeah, when I said, I'm not going to do this, I quit.
Mm.
I know that people were like, no, and that was the young lady that came to me. But even after that, I was getting different people coming up to me. I mean, it just got so overwhelming. It's like, oh, and of course,
You're like, just kidding.
and and when I got up and said it, I'm a transparent person. I just got up and I just quite, this is how I feel. This is it for me.
Yeah.
This is it
Yeah.
for me. And so,
Mm.
but I went to get help for
Mm.
myself, Alycia.
Yeah.
and I
Wow.
wasted no time. And so when I got that text and I looked at this woman, I said, oh, I got to be in this environment. And because I launched out and I trusted God and I trusted the
Mm.
process and I trusted myself, I said, let me just go and see what I can get from this. See, I made a decision to invest in myself.
Yeah.
I'm so committed to how women, and I like to add men too, because men started coming to the event
Yeah,
because
that's
men also
wonderful.
saw how their women were coming home. Or when
Yes.
someone said to me, my dad said I'm so different. He sees such a big difference in me since I
Yes.
came to the retreat, since I've
Yes.
been doing this, right? So the call is a
Mm.
lot bigger than what you are. You just never know the lives that you're influencing to make whatever changes and to move in life.
Come
I
on
went
now.
up level or whatever, go to the next level, whatever you call it,
Come on.
right?
Come on.
And so what I had to do then is when now I'm getting and I'm feeling good, I'm healed, I'm being healed,
Yeah.
and I shall be
Mm.
healed.
Mm.
I'm healed. I'm
Yes.
being healed and I shall
Yes.
be healed. I'm
Yes.
in the continual process of transformation because
Yes.
transformation isn't one and done.
No, ma'am.
It's not, we're
No.
always moving in our business. We're always looking to see how we can up level it, how we could expand it. We're always
Yeah.
looking for that. And so the
Yeah.
purpose of Festa della Donna now began to expand even more. And then God said, go to Georgia. Oh, wait a minute.
What? Ooh, ooh,
What-
ooh,
what-
ooh.
wait,
I think I didn't hear you correctly.
I think I didn't hear you. And I knew that Festa della Donna was going to be out even beyond the state of Delaware. Because
Right.
my daughter, Jaleesa, told me that years ago. As a matter of fact, that year, that same year when I said, Jaleesa, I'm done, she said, Mom, she said, you have to remember that Festa della Donna. And she said this to me, is not just for Delaware, it goes beyond Delaware.
Wow.
She said it go, and she spoke that to me. She
Wow.
said it goes beyond Delaware. You know,
Mm.
Annika said to me one time, she said, and this is again when I'm just feeling, and she said, people see you. She said, you can't stop. You have to keep going.
Wow.
And these are girls that, they're so funny and they're so, you would never know that they could even get that deep.
Yeah, they can. And you know
They
what?
can.
I,
And they talk about what they got from it. What were you about
wow.
to say? Yeah.
I
It's,
was I was just like, wow. It just hit me that you were not committed to the status quo.
I wasn't committed to the
See,
status
the
quo.
status quo keeps you stuck. You were committed to the truth. You were committed to transformation. You were committed to breakthrough. You were committed to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And so,
Wow.
yeah, I was committed to it. And I didn't know how I was
Mm.
going to do it. I
Right.
didn't know how I didn't have, I didn't have that walk two steps and go straight. I mean, I would love to have had that. And when you
Right.
do this, you're going to get this. And when you do this, you're going to get that. And when
Right.
you do this, 50 million people are going to come in. I,
Right.
I didn't have that. I didn't have
Wow.
that. So when God said go to Atlanta, I was like, woohoo, you know? Well, wait a minute. I don't know anyone in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I've met a few people, in the community,
Right.
that I'm in, but I don't know anyone in Atlanta
Right.
like that. But I made a decision I was going to do it. So I launched out.
Mm.
We went
Mm.
last year and we're
Yeah.
back again this year,
Yes, ma'am.
July 21st and 22nd
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Atlanta, Georgia, in Midtown. The first year we were in the Beaufort area, but
Yes.
God said, no, you need to be in Atlanta. That's where I
Yes.
told you to go, Atlanta. Be honest with you. I'm being last year when I went to Beaufort as like, okay, well, it's Georgia, it's Beaufort, it's
Mhm,
right
mhm,
outside of Atlanta,
mhm,
you know. But it's like God said, no, I told you Atlanta, not
mhm,
outside of Atlanta, not
mhm,
Atlanta. And
mhm.
so we're in Atlanta this year, in
Yes.
Midtown Atlanta. You can't get more Atlanta than that.
Right.
So once
Right.
again, it's trusting the process and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. Why? Because this is what I'm called to do.
Mm,
It's a
mm.
vision that's much higher than myself because I'm here to help people. And then, Alycia, this is where, where again, in my prayers and what I'm doing and my conversation, I say, okay, God, I want a co-host because a co-host is always something I wanted, but I wasn't going to pick
Mm,
any or anybody,
mm.
it just had to be something that fit. I didn't want us to be absolutely alike, because one has
Yes.
one, you're strong in one area, I'm strong in another
Yes,
area,
ma'am.
needs to be a balance.
Yes. So real.
And so here is now Alycia, who was a guest speaker, is now co-hosting with me.
Yes,
All of this
amen.
is God. Why? Because the calling is higher. And why? Because she too has a desire to help women.
Yes.
Listen, our goal, I'm not doing this. I tell people I'm not doing this for my health.
No,
I do it because this is what I'm called to do.
that part. That part. And a calling is a commitment to your soul
It's a
that you
commitment to your soul.
that you
It's a
have that
commitment to your
ooh,
soul. To
and it
let women know that you can do it, you can
yeah,
make it, you can. And so now it's the time to where you have to say, let me invest in myself.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not telling you don't look at the dollars and the pennies, but come on,
yes.
put some of that nail money aside and invest in yourself.
And how
So
many times have people asked for a room
yeah,
of women that are committed, that are driven, that have a network of their own, that are
yeah,
looking for connections, that are
connection.
looking to create something new? How many times have we asked for that? I want to be in a room of forward thinkers, of future thinkers, of
Yeah,
those that are creating more. And then you are presented the opportunity and you don't take action.
yeah, yeah. You do.
You are your own rescue, as you said, Dr.
You are
Esther.
your own rescue. And that's the key to all of this. I can't rescue you.
Yes.
Alycia can't rescue you.
No,
She can't
ma'am.
rescue me. I can't rescue her.
No,
We
ma'am.
are our own rescue. You are our own rescue. I had to make a decision to become my own rescue and get the coaching, get the help and everything that I need in elevating my business, in looking
Yes.
at my other businesses. I had to make the decision to rescue me so my relationships can be better, so my
Yes.
business can grow. And by the way, when I got my personal self together, when I began to heal, then my business began to go further. My relationships became that much better. My marriage, I already had a good marriage, but my
Yeah.
marriage became so much better. Why?
Yes.
Because I made a decision. And what
Yes.
I did was I surrounded myself with a group of women from all over the world. And there were men there from all over
Right.
the world, had different businesses, had different things. And we were all there for the sole purpose.
Right. Right.
All there.
That's personal leadership. That's what I'm hearing.
Personal leadership. We were all
Mm.
there. We all
Mm.
decided that we were going to, and to hear the stories is powerful. And
Yeah.
that's why Festa della Donna in Atlanta this year is going to be so powerful. We
Yeah.
have entrepreneurs that are coming, and they're coming from Maryland, from Delaware, from California, from
Yeah.
just from different places. So
All
you
over.
want to be in the room. They are CEOs of their own companies.
Yeah.
They are leaders in their homes. They're
Yeah.
leaders in ministry. They've started their own businesses. They're entrepreneurs
Yeah. And they're leaders in corporate settings as
in
well.
corporate settings as well. They're marketing directors.
Yes.
We have everyone and some are homemakers because they're leaders in their homes. Come
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
And
Come
so the
on.
purpose of that is bringing these women together to network at each other, to put yourself in a different community, in a different environment to
Yeah.
where we can talk, we can heal together. Alycia and I will be giving you some tools along with our guest speakers, not
Yes.
just to motivate you, but to
Yes.
transform you and to put you on a path to where it is whatever you want to go. You're not
That
going to
part.
come there and leave the same way. You're
That
going
part.
to get some tools. You're going to get some things. And when you leave, you're going to say, I'm so glad I
Right.
was in the room. I'm
And
so glad I was in this way. I've met this person. I've met that person. And we have
mm,
connected. We're
mm,
doing this together. You
mm.
don't want to miss this. You
Yes.
don't want to miss this. I don't want to keep, time is going, but I just wanted to share, Alycia,
Yeah.
where about Festa della Donna
I
and
love
the
that.
calling that it is. And here is Alycia just powerful in her leadership that's adding to what I already have, but now
Yeah.
adding to it. Y'all hear me?
Fertilizer.
Yeah.
Fertilizer, the
Oh,
environment, right?
exactly, exactly.
Fertilizer.
My there's so many coaches, so many things going on out there. And I like to say it's all ice cream, but
Yep.
what's your flavor?
Oh, that's good.
It's all ice cream. I really got that.
Ooh.
I can't take it. I got it from my bishop years ago. He said, it's all ice cream, but what's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
What's
Who
your
are you?
flavor?
What are you bringing to the cone, right?
Exactly. What it,
Mm,
what are you bringing?
mm.
And so if you're listening to this and you have not registered, listen, we've got one more week left.
That's it.
That's it. One more week, y'all. Get
Mm,
registered. You want to, there's a song, I take a desert plane, I'll take this. I just need to get there. And I
mm,
remember when I was in my place. And by the way, I just want to say this, Alycia. When I
mm.
first went to the event, I went thinking, I'm going for business, I'm going for this, I'm going for that. And then I found out that you too, right? Then you found out.
I started laughing. I was like, oh, I'm going to go learn how to write my book.
Yeah, write my book, do this,
Uh-huh.
do that, because the
Uh-huh.
vision is already there. And then you get there and you say, oh my God, I needed
Oh,
this. Ooh, I needed that. I needed
yeah.
that. And then
Yeah.
when you left, you found that you got more than just
Yeah.
that information with writing
Yes.
your book. You
Yes.
got other stuff that you actually needed that you weren't aware of. Could it
Yes.
be that you're going to come and find out that you needed some stuff that you weren't even aware that you needed?
Mm,
Could that be?
mm, that part. Ooh, that's good. Ooh. Ooh. And you have a special, I think you have a special link for
I
those that
do.
are
I
on,
do.
right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's post
Mm-hmm.
the link. If you're on YouTube and you're listening to this, or someone shares this with you,
Or
this
you're
is
on
a
replay.
special link. Or you're
Mm-hmm.
on the replay. We want you to put
Mm-hmm.
hashtag replay. We want you to comment. But we have a special link. It's only for if you're listening to this on YouTube to where you can purchase your ticket. And by the way, this link gives you $100 off. You cannot
Mm.
beat that. You can't beat that because right now the $100 sale has been over, but we're going to
Yes.
hit it just for those listening to YouTube. Can you post that for me, please? Share it. You
Mm-hmm.
never keep anything good to yourself. When you
That's
go
right.
to a restaurant, it's real good. You're like, oh, you got to go to this restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah, we share it, right? We do.
Yeah, we do. We share it. Go ahead and share that. Share that, Ashley.
And I
And
want to
so,
talk about, you said something, we've
excuse me.
heard these things so much. Oh, motivation, motivation, motivation. Listen, yes, you will get motivation, absolutely. You will
Yeah,
get inspiration, but that does not create traction. That does not create
come on.
transformation. Transformation is in the action. See, so you are going to leave with actionable items. That's what you want. You want to leave with actionable steps. What is it that you need to do to
Yes.
realize that next level,
Yeah.
to realize that to walk in the true gift that is for you
Yeah.
to present to the world? So, yes, we love motivation. Motivation, you get your pom poms, hoorah, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, it's great for the moment, but it doesn't last.
What did
It's
you
just
just say?
vain.
It's great for the moment. It doesn't
Moment. No,
last. So then
no.
what you need is transformation.
Transformation.
Ah, so
And
good.
that's in
So
the
good.
action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line is when you're looking at all of this, you're looking at where are you putting your energy. And we know that
Yes.
energy grows where energy goes. So
Yes.
put your energy into developing yourself. Put your energy into your leadership. Put your energy into that because that is what will grow. Remove yourself from the negativity and the I can't.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Yes.
Remove your and put yourself into this is what I am going to do and this is what I will do.
Yes, ma'am. Mm. I will do. Make the declaration,
Make
right?
that declaration.
Declare it.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
put on a Facebook post earlier that the only obstacle to our success are the choices we make in our reactions and basically our decisions. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
we are our own obstacles to our success. And we
Mm.
can say it's this person, it's that person, it's whomever, but we're ourselves. But when we realize that we are our own rescue, guess
Yeah.
what? Guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Mm.
Then we can begin to move and then we can begin to transform because
Mm.
we pick up the mantle and we say, I got it. If I don't do it, who's going to do it for me?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think one a very important, I don't know where I heard this, when I heard this, but in order to be who you truly have been created to be, you must forget what someone told you to
Yes.
be. You
Yes.
must be
Ooh,
who
that's good.
you were created to be,
That's good.
not what someone else told you who you were, how you need to show up, what profession you needed to walk in. Who are you?
Who are you?
Not who did your mama say you were? Who did your daddy say you were? Who did Pookie and them say you were? No, 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 no. Who are you? Because
Yeah.
you're very clear on who you are. Sometimes we try to hide, we try to cloak, we try
Yeah.
to act, or we try to uh, manipulate.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
That's who
Yeah.
you're to
Who are
show
you?
up as
Yeah.
and walk.
Amen.
Yes.
So good. So good.
Mm, mm.
So, Alycia, I don't know if you have anything. Alycia and I will be coming on again.
Yes.
Sometime we're going to let you guys know. I did a lot of the talking.
Well, we needed
Honestly,
to know the history. I think it's very
yeah,
important for people to understand context and
yeah,
and the vision, because
yeah,
then it becomes clear that each one of us has that same access,
yeah,
that same opportunity.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So it's
So,
so good.
so beautiful. I got to tell y'all, I love my co-host. She's not just my co-host, but she's my friend. And
Yes,
so, a
yes,
friend for life. And
yes.
so I'm
Deborah, I love you too.
so
Mhm,
grateful, so
mhm.
grateful. And so if you have not registered, get registered. Do it for
Yes,
you. Do it
yes.
for you. Do it for
Right.
you.
Ooh,
Do it
for
for you.
you.
Do it for
Mm,
you. Do it for you. Get registered and then share it with a friend.
yeah.
Get your girlfriend and say, let's go do this together. Let's walk this out together. So share it and do it for you. Don't let anything stop you. Don't stay down in the dumps.
Mm,
If you are there, say, no, I got to get out. There's some things I have to change. And now
right.
is the time for me to start. And
Mm,
so we will see you at the soiree in Atlanta, Georgia, July 21st and 22nd. We also, when you click that link, you get $100 off. And then if you want the premier experience, that's, you'll have a chance to upgrade to that as well. We
yep.
want to see you there. It is going to be phenomenal. We are super, super excited to
Yeah.
share what we have because what Alycia and I are committed to is giving you everything
Mm,
that it's
mm.
taken us all these years to get to where we are and the things that we've learned. We're going to give it to you so it will cut some time off of what you're
Yes,
doing.
ma'am. It sure will.
You
I
know,
promise you that.
oh yeah, promise you that. You're gonna
Mm,
say, oh yeah, I don't, it's gonna cut, right?
yes.
It's gonna,
Yeah.
so be there, be there.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that when you come in, when you leave, you're gonna say, oh, when's the next one? Or let's sign up for this one. You're going
Right.
to do that. You're going
Yes.
to do that.
Yes.
So thank you guys. Alycia,
Mwah.
thank you. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
No, see you all in Atlanta, right? We're in Atlanta.
We're in Atlanta.
Yeah, no other city.
No other city.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, Hotlanta,
Atlanta.
Atlanta. In July, y'all. So
In
I'm like, okay, God, we're gonna do,
Yes.
okay. So
Yes.
we'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.